Hey Dangerlings, it's Dan here. I just wanted to check in with you this week. You know, I've spoken to a bunch of different people, a bunch of Dangerlings during the last few weeks. And I know some of you are really going through a tough time at the moment. You know, it feels like we're getting near the end of this pandemic. That's what people tell us. But if you're anything like me and the others, then this has been the hardest part of the whole thing these last few weeks. There have been some really tough weeks. And I just wanted you to know that we're thinking of you. That's the intro, really. That's the whole message. I'm not going to shill anything at you this week. Goodness knows you've given us so much already to help us keep running during this thing. You know, we said to you at the start of this, when they first put us in a lockdown, we were going to be here with you throughout this whole pandemic, right to the end, as long as it takes. And we are sticking to that. We're going to be here with you every single week. And my goodness, we've come close to the wire sometimes trying to get these things done. But we've managed it so far. And we're going to keep doing something like this as much as we can. Because you're part of our club. And that's important. If you want to chat to any of us, we're on Discord. Tag us. Say hi. If you just want to talk, we can do that. You know. We're all part of the same club. We're all going through the same journey. We're all on the same adventure. So hang in there. Stay strong. Stay dangerous. And I swear to you, I will punch James's lamp again one day. This week's episode is so dumb. You deserve a laugh. Enjoy it.
Previously on the Danger Club podcast.
Dear JamJam, I wanted to tell you I never was able to create you in the best way I could. I've been working on this ever since I've plucked up the courage to stand up to my father, and I thank the Danger Club for that. I've made you this skin so that you can walk around without being in pain. This will have to do for now. Enjoy your new family. You have made me the proudest father in the world. Take care, JamJam. Your loving father, Beelzebub.
The adventure continues now.
So I'm recording both places. Everyone else? Yeah, good. Ross, can I get 3 claps? James, can I get 3 claps? Scott, can I get 3 claps? And Dan, can I get 3 claps? And Drum, can I get 3 claps? Yeah, hearing that rhythm.
Yeah,
we are rolling.
Yeah, I felt that. There was like a passing beat going round to everyone, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very nice.
It was like a warm-up at a drama school.
Cole, can I get 4 claps?
Oh,
no?
No.
Okay, cool. I got
Does anyone want to zip my boing? Anyone want to zip my zap? No.
I'll boing your zap if you want, but you can't boing a boing.
No zipping a zip.
Your boing again.
Oh, I hate it when people zip a zip, don't you?
Can't zip a zip.
Because otherwise the zip would you zip up and then you just zip back down again.
Well, it's when you zip up and you boing, you zip and... Oof.
Yeah.
Ow.
And there's always that one person that when you're playing Zip Zap Boing, from you've never played it with before, they go, well, actually, when I play it, we play it where you could actually zip zips. And you're like, oh my God, I hate the fuck off. Like, fuck the fuck off, you fucking prick.
Oh my God. Like none of us want to do this. The people running the audition don't want to do this. None of us want to do this. The person who invented Zip Zap Boing doesn't want us to play it. It was an experiment that was never meant to leave the lab.
Yeah.
It's just,
I mean, you find it in...
Pick one person across the circle, zap to them every single time, and just get through this shit. That's how you do that.
I usually find it to people being like, we play a different game. It's called Bang Bang Boom or whatever, and you're like, it's the same game. It's literally the same game. Just say the words.
Somewhere out there is Ben Stiller as the villain in the film. He's like the king of like the Zip Zap Boing championships and takes it really seriously. And he's got like a rad jacket and like wacky hair, and he turns up to like boo you and you're zip zapping, and he's been the champion 3 years running.
It's called Bing Bang Boing, idiots. You losers. Yeah.
I mean, that film also has a cameo from Johnny Landslide turning up and saying
4 podcasts in a row Johnny Landslide mentioned. He's never going. He's never done it.
Goodness me.
I can tell you very much, we do not play Boom Bang Bang around here. We do not play Zip Zap Boim. We play Pathfinder vaguely. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Danger Club podcast.
Yeah, talking of vaguely, you were talking about the zip zap boing and people that go like, well, sometimes you can boing a zap and all that kind of stuff. We get a fair amount of that, in the Pathfinder world, do we not?
You can always boing a zap in Pathfinder.
As long as it only takes 2 actions.
Yeah.
Zipping a zap, though, that takes 3 actions, and we all know that, so...
I don't know why anyone's talking about the fact that Dan slipped in a boim. Zip zap boim.
I was going to let it slide.
That's the street version?
Let it slide as well, James.
No.
It's a street version that you probably haven't played,
You're that
but
guy,
Dan
aren't you,
has.
James? You're the one that turns up and says,
You're Ben Stiller.
We knew that was one.
My jacket. Look at my jacket.
It's a gilet, that's a gilet.
Out of here, Stiller.
Evil gilet.
It is. So it leaves my arms free so I can zip zap boing it.
Ooh!
Yeah.
We're not getting into gilet talk again. We have had so much gilet talk on this podcast.
I feel like we haven't had enough.
Actually, a gilet podcast that occasionally plays Pathfinder. We need to steer this back.
Gilet.
We need to...
It's the best a man can get. It really is. Just,
and it has been funny, but it is time we gilet it to rest.
I just want to gilet it for a while and then come back to it. Is that okay?
You've done that now.
I'm never not wearing sleeves again after this, and I love a gilet. I'm sleeves all the way. I can't have any more of this. This needs to end. We made it. You made it out of the Scriven Borough.
Hey!
Yay!
But not all of you.
Yeah, we did.
Entirely made it out.
Yeah, no, we did.
We did.
Everyone made it out.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 characters.
Yeah,
there we go.
That's how many we're supposed to have, right?
And
That's how many we're supposed to have, right?
Yeah.
I mean, balance speaking, it's still one more than you should have for a role-playing game, so I wouldn't get too comfortable.
Here we go again.
I don't know a single campaign that plays with 4 people in it. I've always known
No
campaigns
one
like
does.
5 and 6, I think. I've never played in a 4 before. I have played in a 4 before once, yes, for a very short campaign. Everyone died as a TPK.
There you go.
It's a terrible idea.
On that note, like, now we're talking about, we're in the Scriven Brother and all stuff like that. Beelzebub's gone, right? We know this as players. So if we see him in the street, Dan, does that mean we just don't know who he is?
Yep.
I think the universe ends. If you see, it's a paradox. No. So he's been removed from memories. It hasn't altered reality. Like, effectively, the things that happened still happened, but any connection that you have to Beelzebub within that is gone. So it's up to you, kind of. I don't want to dictate kind of how your characters perceive this and how they think this, but they are effectively they're effectively as if they never met him. You're aware that you knew someone, and you're aware that the Scriven Borough has taken something from you. Just like the Olavi twins knew that, in their case, they even knew who it was that had been taken from them, but they couldn't remember anything about them. But in your case, that whole relationship has been removed from it. So you accomplished the same things. You still made it to here, but you did it without Beelzebub. Whether that changes you, I don't know. How do you think that makes you feel? How does it change?
I know it's good. It's just the logistics of it. Like we just, I feel like we just don't even talk about where we stayed. We don't talk about all that sort of stuff because it being Beelzebub being removed means that all of that is removed as well in a way. I guess, is that correct? Or
what do we think?
I mean, Dan is sounding more and more like a psychologist of some kind at this point. How does that make you feel? Well, what do you think? And just leaving big pauses. I think from Shania's point of view, she obviously has the memory of them going for the memory of her son, and the overriding thing for her is of such relief that I think any tiny strands of what would have been a memory are pretty, she's so focused on the relief of that not happening, she's confused why it didn't and feels like they've got away with something, I think.
Right.
But that's
it's It's a really interesting kind of philosophical question, isn't it? Because if someone was magically removed from your memory and you had no memory of them, you've got no starting place to even try and comprehend who they were in the first place, because everything's gone. So you wouldn't sit there being like, no, I can remember somebody. No, you can't remember anything. Literally, it's a blank, it's a gone. And I think because there's a bit of jiggery-pokery by the devilry in it, I would suspect there's also a sort of almost an inbuilt reluctance to try and think about that, sort of imprinted by the deal that's gone on. So even if you did try and think of it, your mind would just be like, oh no, I'll think about something else.
I'm sure by now, because it's been a week for our listeners, however it has obviously not been so long for us, that our listeners may well have done the follow-on, the knock-on effects of, technically speaking, if the Danger Club did never meet Beelzebub as they believe. So going backwards, do Karagor and Shania have their polyamorous reveal because they never met Beelzebub's family? Do then Karagor went to space by himself? Then the Werner Herzog who got us into space now believes he's slightly more powerful because he didn't need the crafting roll and the alchemy to get that Ranger Horrocks guy into space in the first place. He could do it himself. And then you could go further back down the chain there, and the amount of lives it knocks on, the amount of effects that it has is quite vast, really, isn't it?
Well, it is, but I think as a character, you wouldn't, obviously at the moment you're thinking, but in these cases he's not there. But of course, as a character, you wouldn't recall those sequence of events or place any special importance on it. You might recall them hodgepodge here and there as you live your life, but even then you'd be like, I sort of remember, I think I just come back to that.
Yeah, because the idea is not that he never was there, right? I mean, is that, has he been removed from those incidences in the past?
He always did them. All those things, and we remember that maybe there was someone else there, but we don't remember.
Yeah, so it's
like going to a club and getting right on it, and then speaking to someone out in the smoking area, and then waking up and thinking, I knew I had some cigarettes, but I don't know where I got them from.
It's like good analogy.
It's like there's a really, really nice photo from a night out of me, my wife, Drum, his wife, and some guy. And I have no idea who that guy was, but I remember he was our best friend at the moment we took that photograph. It's that sort of, but it's even you think about pick a random day at work. I know this is the wrong year for saying that, but think back to pick a random day and try and name every single other person who was with you on that day, and it's kind of people were there, but do you know exactly who? It's such a memory is such a sort of a weird thing.
It is.
I feel like Scott could do that actually.
I
feel like you could say December.
What you mean as winner of the big dangerous quiz of the year? You think that razor sharp memory?
I mean, we might forget Beelzebub, but Candice will never forget Beelzebub. She's memorised that. But it is an interesting quirk of our mind as well, that our minds abhor a vacuum. And so even if you can't remember the details, your mind will fill in blanks with whatever it has at hand. So, and that's why, you could speak to a witness 2 months after the event and they'll swear blind that the guy was wearing a yellow shirt when actually they weren't at all. Because your mind, rather than I can't remember, it'll go, it was Dan and Scott and Drum. And it could not have been at all. My mind has just decided to fill in those blanks because I don't really remember.
Yeah, you see pictures of something.
They did experiments, didn't they? They did experiments in the I think in the late 80s, early 90s, before we could put yourself into Face App and be on a that app that you can put yourself into a movie and cast yourself as Kate Winslet in Titanic or whatever. Ross, you've sent us that video 10 times. Stop sending it. Do you know what I mean? You can do that. Before you could do that back in the 80s and 90s, they did experiments where they said to people, do you remember having a balloon ride when you were 5 years old? And they go, I don't. And they'd mocked up photos of them in a balloon, getting on it with their parents and stuff like that, and they were like, oh, do you know what?
Getting on it with their parents, just like that big night out.
And they started remembering stuff. These guys are in their 30s or whatever. They were remembering things that didn't happen because we are so suggestive to these things.
Yeah, so it's quite Darren Brown, that, doesn't it? He's done stuff like that to people before. And also when you're saying that the mind abhors a vacuum, that's reminiscent of a quote, because time also abhors a paradox, which is a quote from one of the old school favourite computer games. Anyone know it?
No, what is it?
It's in reference to this amazing elder god who is just such an asshole. It's the Legacy of Kain games, I think.
Ooh,
I picked up Soul Reaver 2, which focuses on Raziel. It's got some of the best voice acting, and I think some of the best game writing. It's an amazing series of games, that one.
Oh, tremendous.
I mean, I actually think that Ross is in Titanic now. Like, I can't, I
Well, and I tell you what, your terrifying example of getting it on with your parents in a balloon, that's completely changed that song Up and away in my beautiful balloon. I mean, those 60s were swinging, man, weren't they? Jeez.
I mean, I said getting on a balloon with your parents.
Getting it on with a balloon in your parents.
It actually doesn't change the meaning of that song, because that song was sampled and remixed by The Prodigy many years later on, who I imagine would have been quite all right on that exact thing.
All getting it on with everyone in this enormous balloon.
Especially their parents. I mean, and the exact words were getting on it with your parents, getting on the balloon with your parents. When we listen back, I think that's what you said. Getting on it.
Is that what I said?
Yeah.
Fuck you all, man.
Exit to Colin floating away.
Yeah, with my parents. Not
We're a little over how long we normally go on a preamble, but we've had a big change. A character has effectively left the party. I want to find out.
Yeah.
So, Ross, how do you feel about what went down?
Yeah, I mean, it was the natural progression. So now I can stop getting shit from everyone about having two characters. So it's good I can just be one character.
Can I ask you a question, Ross?
Yes.
Like, did you know you were going to try and do that?
That would be telling.
Yeah, he's asking.
Yeah, I'm asking. Like, just because. Okay, so look, I mean, like, obviously, I came into the game like we hadn't set anything up or anything, had we?
No.
Talked about anything that we were going to do, and they went for Shania's thing, and like, I was like, do you know what? Like, I'm not just going to let them. I can't. I'm going to whatever I can do to fight it. I'm going to do. And then you came in and saved the day. It's almost as if you knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, it was a bit like that, actually, yeah.
It was amazing. Like, I mean, I don't know, like, what's...
I can tell you that some people in the Danger Club knew some of the things that might have happened within there. Nobody knew everything that was going to happen. I can tell you that up until relatively recently, the most valuable thing that the club could have given would have been Shania's memory of her child. So that was certainly high on their priorities. But I can also tell you that it absolutely wasn't an artificial thing to take Beelzebub out of the game. That wasn't. Beelzebub came with the story. It was Ross's idea to bring Beelzebub to Nex because of his connection to it, because we thought he'd be an interesting character and we could tell interesting stories here. But what happened was more organic than a lot of people will think. It's surprising because we've just been talking on Danger Recall about the Ghost Ship episodes with the guessing of the name Lily, which was this one thing that massively sounded completely like it was set up and contrived and totally wasn't. And this, I would say, is in the similar ballpark here. There was a lot more improv from Ross on that than you would expect, and certainly very good that I effectively threw the "Do Peter Capaldi's goodbye" thing from Doctor Who. You've got a minute, go. Just did it.
That was hard.
You came up with it.
No,
that was really good.
I think that's a really good. I think the way it played out. Credit to you guys, because I knew nothing. It's nice because obviously there's an element of truth whenever you're role-playing often. And, genuinely, Velda's been quite open about how scared he was about going in there and about the cost. And I think he probably took it more seriously than most. When you were going through the names, it was like, it was like a class. Yeah. When they're reading out the test results, and you kind of want to be first because it either goes down the list or up the list, and it was like, oh no.
I don't know. I thought when Dan said Bubba, I was like, oh fuck, really? I was like, it's going to be me straight away. Do
you know what?
Anyway,
I was actually relieved. That's how worried I was as a player and as a character.
Yeah.
And then he carried on going. I was like, oh no. I felt bad for Bubba, but at the same time, it was that kind of like, oh good, it's not me.
Just another one of Colin's characters. Yeah. Just get rid of that one.
Yeah, but ten a penny in it. I love Bubba's response as well, because I thought the same thing when it was just like, how would you feel about that? And I thought, hey, it'd be all right. Bubba would be all right. Just be like, all right, later. Just going to go and find another
Well,
group.
actually, he did say at the end that he'd actually be lost. He was bluffing completely. I was waiting for Dan to say, give us a bluff check, because I was bullshitting. Completely, yeah.
And Ross, how do you feel? Because you're in the single club now.
Yeah, I am.
All the single characters. Oh,
Tweet us, ladies.
Well, yeah. Ugh, but but yeah. So you're just back to playing one character.
Yeah, and we'll find out what happens to that character now.
Oh, I thought you said next week. Next week.
People
That's
screaming, going, "This
Look at
program
that,
is so
you're back-
long. Come on."
I know, yeah. I'm like, come on.
Hopefully you'll forgive us, Dangerlings, because it was a big thing, and we haven't talked about it.
And also, loads of this is going to be cut, right? I mean,
I'm not cutting any of this.
It's a big thing, you know. The makeup of the group has changed. A beloved character is not going to be with us going forward on the journey. Will they come back? Maybe.
Nice.
Yeah.
But unlike with the death of a
was-
character, it is a character that we cannot mourn because we do not know that they were ever with us.
Yes, and very, very bittersweet, because, well, not bittersweet at all, it's bitter, because he did this heroic thing, and no one's going to celebrate him at all, not even himself. It's gone.
Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair!
Beelzebub, come down to dinner immediately. Stop
Well, I
talking
think
to
the
yourself.
most tragic thing is kind of what Beelzebub loses all of that development that he's had from meeting all of you. You know, Beelzebub goes back to who he was before he became brave and before he became good, and he's back to who he's his father's son. He's lost that extra strength that he gains, which is a huge thing and maybe a big thing for the world. Does Beelzebub grow up differently if he never meets the Danger Club?
True.
Many things. Perhaps we will find out the answers to some of them as we rejoin the now 5-person Danger Club, because as we've established before, a monkey is not a dog.
I was just about to hey.
Even if he's the same size as a person now. And of course, JamJam, who is now with the club, with his skin suit, but not a horrible shredded up one, an actual nice made one. There's a chance. As we rejoin all of
is he like
with
Winnie the Pooh now,
information
like in a skin suit?
The skin suit
We need
was
the
like
flesh.
a little flesh suit with a little tuft of hair on top. Was anyone else just thinking of the trolls, the little toys?
Yes, yes.
Right?
Yeah. Have we slept? Have we gone to bed now? We've woken up in the morning, right?
We're going to say you are rested, yeah. Because you're not. This is the thing. You don't remember leaving the Scrivenborough.
Yeah.
You're not entirely sure how long it has been since you were there. And if you ask around, people think you've been here a few days. No one seems entirely sure how long you've been in Nex. It's not months, but no one's entirely sure the exact time frame since you arrived to now. But you are, so yes, you are kind of gathered. We'll pick you back up, let's say in the street, because it's the easiest place. You've kind of picked out a few stalls now where you can get food easily, and you've kind of grabbed a bit of breakfast, and you're sat on in an outdoor seating area, having some food and kind of thinking over. Reading through your horrible, bloody, flayed skin.
Well, I was just about to say that I thought that we should hang the skin up in some room, let it dry out a little bit. I think it would make it much easier, maybe make it a bit leathery.
Yes, I'm way ahead of you. I actually hung it up in the little bathroom. That's adjoining the room.
That's great. Okay, good.
Just be careful when you go in there, because it's a bit flappy, and it's actually quite messy. I did my best. It's really disgusting.
Have you done anything to stop the flies from coming or something? No rest, like repose or anything
You
like
didn't
this.
hang it near my pocket meat, did you? Because I've got some meat hanging up there as well.
Oh, yeah, is that what that was? I thought that was an old
don't
cow.
eat the book. Do not eat the book.
Hey.
Why are you hanging pocket meat? Why are you hanging already dried meat?
Well, let's say it's a part of the aging process. You put it in the toilet for 2 days, and then you shove it in your pockets. That's the way you make...
Into the toilet?
Well, this is the only place that is cool.
That's not true. That's not true. There
No,
are so many
because-
in the
That's not
entire
true, no.
world. There are renowned places that are
No,
cool,
because
not just
when
the
you go
toilet.
for pupsies, you open the window. So obviously, it's a cool breeze.
But in the toilet is your poopsies, which are warm, yeah? And your wee-wees, which are also the warm, yeah?
Aye.
And also, Fulton, we're in a sort of subtropical environment. This is very hot. Even when I open the window, it gets hotter, if anything.
Oh, that's why they've been tasting a bit weird.
Oh, and you've been poopsing near them as well.
Well, I'm not an animal.
What's the breakfast we're eating, Dan? What are we actually eating right now?
Oh my goodness. Okay, you're really glad that you're staying in the Nexus house that is self-cleaning and they don't have to have room service. You might walk in on Fulton's horrible bathroom, which is, let's be honest, it's Fulton's horrible bathroom wherever you stay, whether there's pocket meat hanging up in it or not. We've established that before.
Yeah.
The breakfast is kind of dried fruit from this stand. You got a lot of different dried fruits and things like that.
Okay, as Fulton's talking about, keeping food in a toilet, I kind of just push mine away from me a little bit.
It's not. I'll tell you what. I don't mind next, but I will not miss these breakfasts. I mean, tell you, there is one food group in this breakfast, and it is going to give you a sugar crash right in the middle of lunchtime. That is.
Do you want
I
some
can tell you,
pocket
not
meat?
being too personal, but I'm very jealous of Fulton's poopsies because I haven't pooped for days. I mean, it's solid, it's dense fruit. This
I don't know about you,
You should
mate.
eat
but
some of these dates. They'll be good for you. They'll make you all regular. They will.
Yeah, I was going to say, that. Oh, I see what you did there.
I made a plan.
Yeah.
Fruit,
So-
yes.
Yeah.
Now that we
Just fig off.
Now that we've got the information, we should probably go to the Mwangi Expanse, right?
Yeah, we should. Yeah.
Okay, is that is this what we want to do?
Well, that's the next part of the show. Well, that's what we got to discuss, I guess, if we're going to get the next shard.
What we need to discuss, I think, is so are we all of our minds that we need to try and destroy this thing? Yeah.
We've already
I mean, we need
established
to. I don't
it's
think we
gonna
can.
be
They were saying that
impossible to do it.
No, well, look, I don't really want to get into discussion again, but I really don't think that if the most powerful wizards in existence can destroy it, I really don't think we can. So, give it a shot. But I'd worry as also what happened if you tried.
Who's the most?
These are to be handled very
Who's
carefully.
the most powerful?
Probably better than whatever trying to use it would end up in, I imagine.
I didn't say I wanted to try and use it.
I never said you did.
Necessarily.
The alternative is to either get rid of it or someone ends up using it. Either it's the Whispering Tyrant or someone else. Either way, we can't make the decision until we've gathered all the shards.
Who's the most?
And that would mean going to the Mwangi Expanse.
Who's the most powerful wizard in all of the world?
Me.
Probably.
I'm joking, I'm not even
Excuse
Well, I don't,
me.
it depends.
Are we in a hotel? Tavern? Did you say?
No, you just sort of. You're just
Okay, I'll just stop someone nearby.
You stop somebody nearby. A catfolk stops nearby with orange fur and stripes. And says,
Hello, what's your name?
My name is. It's a good thing I had to manage to get the spreadsheet open in time. My name. Thank you to call yourself Focus Zero, call yourself B-Dad. Either way, our great patron. Thank you very much, Focus. My name is Sir Reginald von Bartlesby.
Sir Reginald von Bartlesby.
Nice.
Sir Reginald von Bartlesby. That's right.
Sir Reginald von Bartlesby. I see you.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Well,
You
Yeah.
sound
She's a
like
great favourite.
a stout fellow. Do you know where the most powerful wizard in the world lives?
Yes, I do know where the most powerful wizard in the world is, for I am a knight, apparently. Therefore, I am one of the knights of Last Wall. We fought a great battle in the Gravelands against the Whispering Tyrant that destroyed much of our order, and I am here trying to gather allies to return to retake our homeland. But the most powerful wizard in all of the world surely would be the Whispering Tyrant.
Okay.
Yes.
Is he a wizard?
Yeah, well, yes, he's an extraordinarily powerful wizard. He's got his, necromancy.
How many
well,
I thought he was just a lich.
and-
I didn't realise they had classes.
I mean, well, I'd hesitate to say wizard necessarily, but he's certainly a very powerful magic user. Yes, it's the basis of all necromancy.
Do all wizards end up really weird, Felder? Felder, looking at you. Next.
I am
In
not.
my experience, yes. All of them, without exception.
Well, that's just... Well, there we go. And he
Geb,
tosses a date up and eats
next.
it.
Whispering Tyrant, or as I'm going to call him, Wiz Ty. They're all ended up really strange and sometimes dangerous. Velda, I'm concerned.
Well, no, it's all right, because it's power that corrupts, so I should be all right.
Unless we get all these shards and then you're really powerful.
Don't say anything about it in front of Von, Mr. Von Bartlesby. How many people have you got in your thing
That's
recruited?
Reginald
Sorry,
to you.
Mr. Reginald Von.
Sir
Bartlesby.
Bolton, he's a sir, he's a knight.
Sorry,
Sir Reg.
Sir Reggie. What? How many people have you got to fight against in last war?
I'll take Reggie. The Reggie Yates documentaries are fantastic. I'm a big fan. He's the new Louis Theroux. Anyway,
I said, how many people have you got?
Probably not a good question to ask, Fulton, because they all got massacred.
No, he said that
yes,
he's
lots of us got massacred by that powerful wizard. God, I hate wizards and how they all turn evil. Did I ever tell you about my brother Tim?
No,
What happened to your
tell
brother
us.
Tim?
He was a wizard.
What happened to him?
He turned evil.
Velda, I'm
Did you have to kill him?
concerned.
Look, I don't know Tim, and I'm sure he just had a difficult upbringing. Maybe he's a bit misunderstood, didn't get out enough.
You
And
know
didn't have-
about your name?
Yeah. I mean, you are misunderstood as well, yeah? Oh my
Velda,
gosh.
Your name is Cairn Blight.
Yes.
That's two bad things put together. One's for burying
No.
people, and one's for ruining crops.
Well,
Cairn
no.
Velda.
Excuse me.
Apparently, the name goes back to actually, necromancy hunters. You see, that's what it's got its root in. You see, Cairn Blight, the blight of Cairns. When the things were buried, and also it's popular amongst accountants.
Sir Reginald drinks his tiny cup of coffee and is like, sure, buddy, whatever help you sleep at night.
I shout out. So can I just make an announcement, whoever's listening? How many people here know a wizard that turned evil? Put your hands up.
Like half the dining area.
Oh, no.
Velda!
Bolton, I'd really rather you didn't stir up a lynch mob against wizards right now. Is that all right?
Sorry. I
Because
just
also
wanted
you
to
have
check.
a habit of getting a lot of people killed.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
Yes. Think on that and chew your date.
He's got a single day.
Okay, Mr. Van, that's all we need.
Reginald! His name is Sir! His name is Sir Reginald!
See you later, Sir Reg.
See you later, registration. So register.
I'm sorry to hear about Tim, Sir Reginald.
I'm not. He was a dick.
Okay, fine. Good.
Velda!
He's being wizardist. Isn't that wizardist? I think that was wizardist.
So, what we've gained from that random information is we need the Whispering Tyrant to destroy the shards.
It's literally the opposite of what we're trying to do. We're trying to stop the Whispering Tyrant from getting hold of the shards so we can plunge the world into a necromantic, horrific place. And you want to give it to him and ask him to destroy them?
No, but wait a minute. Maybe not give it to him, but maybe if we could have all of them in like a backpack and pretend that it's something he hates, and he will like smash it with his powers, and then we go, ha, that's what you're looking for.
How are you going to find out what he hates?
He's going to be able to know that what the magic that it gives off. It's going to know what that is in the backpack. It's going to sense it.
What are you going to do to make some sly inquiries and find out he hates coriander? So we're going to say that it's a bag full of coriander.
Yeah.
He's going to destroy it with all his power, all his might, pour it into smiting this bag of coriander.
And wait,
Can I make a bardic lore check to see if I know if the Whispering Tyrant hates coriander or not?
Yes, you can.
Okay,
Imagine
that
if
was
it was
a
allergic to
natural one.
lemon.
It was a natural one.
Hates puppies.
Natural one.
Oh, you are unsure specifically what the Whispering Tyrant hates.
I'm not sure if he hates coriander.
No,
to be
he
honest.
hates
Okay,
the
but
living.
I mean,
He
it's
hates-
okay. Hey,
he
look.
hates the living.
Look, I'm just workshopping an idea, okay? Don't have to shoot it down straight away.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake.
Look, how do we get to the Mwangi Expanse anyway? Do we have to get a boat, or do we have to ride on another boat, or do we have to get on a boat, or
I mean, I don't really know much about the Mwangi Expanse. I'm going to be honest.
It probably involves getting a boat, though.
Probably imagines getting a boat sometime.
Probably needs to get about, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, is there water between us and the Marangi Expanse?
Yes, there is.
There is. Okay, yeah, both. Okay.
Well, so you can get your map. You can get a map pretty easily from looking around. You find a map of Nex, just wandering around the bazaar. And,
Are there people handing them
Maps
out?
wandering around the bazaar, waiting for his map kids to come out the map shop.
I'm a map.
Hello, I'm on holiday. I'm Mr. Atlas.
Yeah, he's a map, but he's a map of Varizia. He's not a map of Nex at all. He's just he's on vacation with his kids. He's completely useless.
I burn him.
do the free maps that we get from people handing them out in the street, are they maps that like have fast food restaurants on and things that you don't really want to see? But
yeah,
saying you're here, you make a note. You're going to try and go and see the puppet show.
The local.
It gives you some coupons off. For some dates down the road in the date shop.
So the layout of Nex, it looks like if you ask around, I tell you what, let's get a roll in this. Let's roll some dice. Why don't we? Give us a
what?
Dice?
Deuce?
give me a somebody wants to give me a diplomacy check to kind of ask around to try and gather some information.
Surely.
All right.
Surely.
Yeah,
brother.
that's not gonna
19.
A 19, good. Okay, you managed to ask around. Yes, you find out a few bits and bobs about the geography of Nex. So the way to get to the Mwangi Expanse from here is through a place called the Nadali Gap. The Nadali Gap is it's a couple of weeks travel from Quantium. It's on the other side of Nex. So you are on the east coast of Nex. You need to go inland, basically, across what is, by the sound of it, a wasteland. There's not a lot growing outside of the cities of Nex. You can travel. Once you travel across the country, you'll go up into the mountains, where there is something called the Nadali Gap, which is a mountain pass, which takes you into the Mwangi Expanse itself, where the first city that you would meet would be a city called Kibwe, which is a travelling city. And you remember from talking to Olibrian that Kibwe was where he said the next shard was.
Yes.
I relay that to the team.
On this Nadali Gap, I assume it is a gap, looks like a valley. It's got just a quarry, just a bit of land in the middle of it.
No, I think it's we get clothes, isn't it? Isn't it clothes store? No. My mistake.
Gap.
That's Baby Gap. Oh, that's right. Yes, no, that's up on the Silver Coast, Baby Gap.
For those who are just listening, everyone was shaking their heads just then, just to let you know.
Except for Ross got my back, bro. Got my back.
So, before we go on this, should we get some rations and some potions and stuff if we need to get anything?
No, I don't think so. I think we should.
Karagor goes, we don't need potions. We've got oh yeah, we should probably get some potions.
We should definitely get some potions. And yes, we should stock on provisions. Is it worth... how do we get to this gap? Is it overland or is it by boat?
It's overland.
So we could maybe hire some sort of, animals to travel. I'm sick of walking.
Yeah, I think this is maybe a good idea.
Some camels and that.
Yeah, just out of character, Dan. Does this follow the sort of... I didn't want to sort of put this in because it might not be the case. Camels or their equivalent?
Yeah, you would. You would probably have camels around here. It's not like a desert like Osirian, which is sort of further north. But yeah, you would probably have them here. From what you've seen a little bit when you went out the city to the to where the Olavi twins were in that little shop. You saw the sort of what it's like outside the walls of Quantium, and it is much more arid. There's very little growing out there. So you will want something that is kind of hardy and able to take that kind of punishment.
Hey,
yes, camels. I think.
I think camels is a good way to go. Yeah.
Does anyone want to Has everyone got the bestest weapons they can have? Does anyone want to buy any spells, scrolls, shoe cheese?
I mean, do we need? Yes. How are we doing for foods and things? I'm not so sure. But also, I mean, I don't have very much money left at this point anyway. So I don't know about the rest of you.
I'll lend you some, babe.
Thank you, but it's okay. I can pay my own way. Okay, I'm not.
You just You just said you didn't have.
Yeah, no, I know. Okay, but I don't want this is a conversation for another time. Okay.
Karagor just goes to Velda. Goes, you see, again, I've done something wrong somehow by offering to help. I never
My friend, I am well versed in Arcana and many, many things of the secrets of this world, and I don't understand a thing of what just happened. So, just keeping quiet.
I'd like to just lean back on the benches that we're sitting on. I assume it's like a little picnic bench, and just sort of go, "Hey, mate," to the person behind me.
Yes.
Hello, mate. How are you? What? Who's there?
It's Sir Reginald. He's
still Sir Reginald.
It's like it's an open air dining. Like he was there because he got his food. So he's just sat down. And he's just like, yes, I'm still here.
Oh, Reg, it's you. Hello, Reg. Listen, Sir Reg, do you know a good place to get a camel round here?
There's a there's a kind of caravanserai. I've never been there to say it. I'll be honest. I played Civilization for years.
Caravanserai?
A caravanserai.
Caravans. I thought it was caravanserai, but I could be wrong on that.
Whatever.
No, that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, I can't.
There's a caravanserai at the edge of town. There are often caravans leave from there. You should be able to. You might be able to buy horses or camels or anything. From
I don't
there.
like caravans.
Or you might be able to buy passage.
To be honest, they give me the hump.
Sorry about him, Reg. He's always doing this.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to lighten
Wizards, right?
I know, right?
That's not evil. Puns aren't evil. Puns are
Yours
a gift
are.
from the gods. Oh, well, fair enough.
Do you want to come with us? No, I'm only joking, Velda. I'm only joking.
Leave Velda.
So let's go to the caravanserai.
Wait, you literally just suggested we go on a big shopping spree.
Let's go to the shopping.
Hey, lads, watch this. Hey, Fulton, look at that. There's a squirrel over there.
What?
Squirrel.
He looks.
The squirrel just turns around and flips Fulton the bird.
Oh, prick!
And then runs away.
Look, I'd said Fulton needed to wear a hat. He insists on walking around in the sun with no hat. I think it's actually finally cooked his brain.
Is JamJam wearing his new suit of skin?
JamJam is kind of carrying it because he does not have someone with the skill to sort of sew him into it. Unless one of you would like to attempt to.
What?
To
Could I do a craft check?
I mean, I've got some medical skill in sewing things together, but I'm not sure if that's exactly what you want. You might still look hideous.
What was the skill?
It would be craft.
Yeah, I'm alright at crafting.
+4.
I would dearly love. Clearly, it was
a
gift from somebody.
Listen, mate, I'll have a go.
Are you sure? Are you sure you don't want a medical person to try and sew you up?
Well, it's more of a crafting sort of thing, I think, than medical.
I'm good
Okay,
at crafting.
okay. No, it's okay. I understand when I'm not wanted. Okay, I will see you all later. Shania goes off. Walks off.
Velda just looks at Karagor. So,
Truly, I understand. I can read tracks in the footprints and the shit marks of many an animal, but this I will never fail to understand.
I just don't understand. Can you do an assist, Dan?
You can do an assist.
I will try and assist
what did
Bubba
Colin
in
say?
his.
Fulton, what have you got in crafting?
+9.
I got 10. So.
Yeah, you go for it.
Wow.
I mean, I can assist if you want.
Also,
I mean, assist away.
crafting
Yeah.
is blacksmithing.
Hey, it doesn't specify on my thing.
But you did in your
It
backstory.
doesn't.
Yeah, but it doesn't specify on the rules sheet. Doesn't
I
say
tell you what,
crafting blacksmith.
I don't need you. I got a 28.
Oh, all right, fair enough.
Oh, well, Velda does sort of help. He got a 14, so I think that is a successful assist.
Passes me the needle.
It is a 14 is a fail.
Oh, Velda doesn't help at all. He's just sort of.
Aid is DC 20. It's in fact 4 points away from a critical fail, which would have meant that you would have done something horrible.
I think you want to tuck it in there and then just wrap that little bit.
Slap his hand away.
Look, I'm just trying to help.
Get off!
All right.
Go over there and play with Fulton.
Oh no!
I mean, technically, JamJam is Velda's now.
Yeah.
Velda's like the guy. Velda's like he's cutting the thing off the sprue and almost cuts off one of the accessories because he thinks it's the over bit of plastic. It's actually like he nearly removed something very important from JamJam.
Yeah.
However, you just You get him. You get JamJam up on the table in this outdoor restaurant. You open up the skin. You just sort of push some food to the side. Do you not think we should sell it?
Listen, this is going to hurt me. It's going to hurt you more than it is me. I'm sorry about that, mate. And
Shania's walking off. She says, "I would have used a sterilised environment."
Someone comes up to you, Shania, and is like, "Oh, Shania, you want to? Stranger, you want a tour of the bazaar?"
No, I do not want it. No, if it gets within 1 more minute, I'm going to. She pushes him out of the way.
The rest of you just see this guy come running back out of the bazaar as quick as he can.
Yes, we don't understand her either.
Can I use some kind of tracking thing? Given that I know Shania and given I recognise her scent and stuff and her marks, can I get a roll as to where she's going? Or
so romantic.
You should be able to. Before you do,
every breath you take,
every mark you make.
Tell me how you are with the items that you have and the things you have available at this breakfast table. Tell me how you are going to sew JamJam into his new skin suit.
All right, so I have my lovely claws, which are really going to help because they're quite intricate. Do you know what I mean? I have some thieves' tools which help me sew things because it's kind of needles and things like that. That'll help me out, won't it? So I can use that to sew him up with, which is good. As for what to sew him up with, that's a good question. I have some.
Shame Shania's not there anymore because she's got a medical kit with stuff to sew him up with. It's all right though. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. I mean, you walked off.
I mean, you walked off.
You're the one who walked off.
You literally walked away from the situation.
We didn't send you away. You walked off.
Yeah. I know that, but God.
I'll tell you what. I've got I've got some rope, so I'm gonna cut a couple of inches of rope up, and then I'm gonna craftily expel this rope until it's quite thin and just sort of tie it together. So it's going to look really, really horrible. He's going to look like Frankenstein, really. Frankenstein's monster.
As this is happening, Karagor's just looking around and being like, God, I bet we all had a bit of privacy. If only we had some kind of headquarters or a base we could retreat to do these kinds of things.
No, Reggie's loving it.
You know what? I'm really, really going off my dried fruit.
I'm just singing away as well, sticking in the rope with thieves' tools into his belly, taking it up and sticking it into his knee. I stick my talons into his head, hold it down, but he's not going to be dead. I'm sewing him up. Oh, yeah.
I don't think it's one of his best,
I could have used a banjolele string. I've just realised. Sewing him up.
Every time he fell over, he'd just go dung.
No, of course he wouldn't. It would just be around in his thing. Yeah, maybe he would actually. That'd be quite cool.
Fulton walks off to find the nearest toy shop.
Okay, Fulton, you go to...
Karagor's just watching people. No, wait, hang on. I was just trying to track her. Where are you going? Bloody hell.
I'll be back.
Yeah.
Who would have thought Beelzebub was the glue that held this group together? Everyone in the restaurant kind of watches Bubba just put this tiny figure on the table, and then just starts working away as JamJam cries out in distress. So Reginald kind of bats you on the arm after a little bit, Bubba, and just points a sign for the toilets where there's a baby changing sign and just sort of shrugs at you. JamJam finally kind of staggers to his feet, tiny and naked as Mixmax was, with a little tuft of hair on the top of his head. His skin not quite fitting perfectly, incredibly well made, but not sewn on by, say, a qualified surgeon. It's held on with rope. He kind of stands up and goes, "I'm alive! I'm a real boy!"
You are. And now we need to get you some tiny pants.
Well, Shania comes back in at this point, and she has a little bag with her.
Right, okay, let's do these things in order.
Yeah.
First of all, survival check, Karagor.
She's back now. Like,
Yeah, you just tracked her all the way around the block, around the bazaar, and then
I love that you're tracking her and she's just behind you.
okay, so with a survival, so 27.
It's 27. It's amazing. You track Shania flawlessly by, I guess, her smell or just the intricate knowledge of where she would go in the bazaar. You follow, you tail her all the way through the bazaar until you find that she entered a what kind of shop?
Like a sort of a shop for a baby Gap.
A baby through the baby Nadali Gap, out the other side, back round, and then back to the table.
Yeah, Karagor's tracking her and going like, oh yeah, I see some angry footprints there. I see a bit of ruckus for someone else. Yeah, and she's gone into a shop. She's gone into it, and then looks up and sees there's a baby store and goes, and then just really ashen faced follows her back to the group. Just stands and like watches from the side, trying to keep an eye on Shania.
While this is happening, Fulton, you arrive in a toy shop.
Tring! Hello!
Hello there, Sonny. There's a tiny, pale-faced gnome, like completely hairless, with just staring red eyes. Hello.
Hello. Do you have any like dolls? This tall?
I have a few. Here, come with me. And she just kind of leads you around a corner to a dark, rickety door, turns the handle and opens it to a dark room. Said, "It's just in there."
Okay, it seems a bit weird that this dark room would be in here, but okay. Fulton goes in.
Fulton goes in. She lights a candle and hands it to you. And then as you look up, you hear her slam the door. You hold it up, and there are just shelves and shelves of dolls, all just staring down at Fulton.
Which one shall I pick? I pick the prettiest dress of one of the dolls, or the prettiest looking one.
You pick up a doll with a really pretty dress. What would describe the dress?
It looks. It's like a blue. It's like one of those old blue frilly dresses. It's got like a poofy skirt that poofs out. Very poofy and puffy and all very nice. And it's got frills at the bottom of the dress, and there's like a bow on the waist as well. And I pick that doll up.
As you pick it up and you look at it, you feel the doll twitch slightly in your hand. The candle goes out, and you just hear, "Are you my daddy?"
Oh, it's got a voice box as well. That's just good. All right, yes. Well, you don't speak back, but yeah, I am.
Was that you made a gesture? Was that you removing the dress?
No, I've got it in my hand. Okay.
Yeah. The poofy dress.
Yeah.
You take the doll. You take the doll back outside. The woman, as you open it, the gnome is there with a glass to the door, just listening and staring into space. Just, oh, you're back.
Hey, how much for the doll?
Oh, nobody has ever made a purchase before. It's a gold piece.
Here you go. Have to. And then I put it on the table, take the dress off, and just leave the doll on the table.
You take the dress and walk out the store, and it's behind you. You hear, "Mommy, I'm cold."
Oh, they are really advanced dolls they have in there. See ya.
Yeah, you hear the gnome go, "Well, back in the cupboard you go." Ah! And you shut the door behind you and go back. With that,
I head back to the rest of the group.
Karagor just sees Fulton coming back, and with a small dress, and inwardly he's trying to count the weeks back in his head, and then he sees Fulton arrive with a small dress, and he says, "Oh, fuck, shit."
So Shania opens up her bag and says, "Okay, so maybe I couldn't make the suit for you, but I thought that maybe I could suit you up," and pulls out these amazing-looking sort of designer sort of baby clothes, some shoes for the feet, tiny little shoes, and like a little T-shirt with that says like I'm with the MILF, and some other odds and ends, and also there is a sort of stuff for colder climes, some jumpers and things. So there you go.
I love the fact that the dad of the group has no money for potions or scrolls or rations or camels, but has plenty of money to go and blow it at Designer Gap for a bunch of kids' clothes.
Children's clothes are important. Yeah.
More so than food.
I mean, this has got to be a dream for any parent, isn't it? It's a baby, but he won't grow out of these clothes. He's gonna.
You'll grow into it. I won't. You will. I won't.
I'm stuck in perpetual fashion. Fulton, you arrive back as well.
I see Shania giving these clothes, and I've got the thing in my hand, and I go, oh no.
Karagor goes over and goes, "How long have you known?
Huh?
How long have you known?"
As long as I can remember.
Karagor just goes, "You should never told me."
That was weird. Fulton just throws it at the squirrel, and just into the mud and into by the squirrel.
What are you doing?
Velda goes and picks it up and is like, "Fulton, you've dropped your little dress. It
was for JamJam, but he's got better clothes now.
What?
Got a dress.
Oh,
JamJam?
You went to get him a dress? Well, shall we have a look?
JamJam.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, yes. As were the clothes that I bought as well.
Look, JamJam can wear a dress if he wants. You've made it dirty now. Look at it.
Yeah, he's got it for later.
Give it to me. Give it to me, Velda. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to clean it off a little bit. And wait a minute. This is not actually made of actual material. This is like a dress that you would put on a doll. There's no way to put the arms in or anything. Where did you get it from?
I got it from the toy shop. It started going, "Mommy!" It was got like a voice box in it or something.
You were going to dress JamJam in clothes of a toy?
Well, I can't afford designer goods like you.
But I tell you what, children need proper clothes, okay? All right? They cannot be wearing the clothes that are of dolls, okay? These are cheap things, okay, and will not keep them warm and cozy in the night times. And sometimes they do not say things like cool things that, like, I'm with the MILF, okay? So, you've learned something today, okay?
Karagor nods solemnly and starts taking notes.
You can just give it to that squirrel over there if you want.
If the squirrel wears it, then do you know what? I'll talk to the squirrel. She goes over and uses talks to animal.
The squirrel's like,
hey. Do you want this dress? Do you think it would look nice on you? Are you cold?
You are offering me this of your own freedom?
Yes, of course I am. Yeah, you can take it and put it on. I'd love to see you wear it.
The squirrel takes it, puts it on, and does a little twirl. He goes, "I shall go to the squirrel.
Yeah, you look beautiful.
I shall marry the squirrel prince, and then I will finally be turned back into the dragon I once was, and lay waste to this city."
No, wait, no.
And the squirrel runs off. There's you're interrupted by the sound of a cup rolling off the table and hitting the ground, and you look down. You look back over to the table where you were, where JamJam is standing up, wearing a perfectly tailored tiny suit with a T-shirt saying "I'm with the MILF," and his hair. He takes the hair with one of his palms and just swafts it back and says, "If you're all quite done, I think we have a quest to be getting on with." And that's where we leave it for tonight.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well done.
Nice,
An
man.
I
entire episode.
want to know what Drum thinks that dolls' clothes are made out of if they're not.
They're made out of
right.
polyester and do you own a doll? Have you seen a doll?
I can't wait for the episode where Shania explains to Karagor what a MILF is. He's going to have a really good time.
I will slay it. Oh, wait, no.
That's really good with Karagor.
This week's episode was made possible by our patrons, and especially our Dangerling of the Week, Stephanie Muniz. Stephanie Muniz, that's your name. I hope I got it right. If I didn't get it right, hope I did, 'cause you're alright. Thank you, Stephanie Muniz. To get your name on the show, go to patreon.com/Danger Club Podcast.